before. I remember we were at the on-site meeting, and we were thinking about having a separate facility as a backup, and which was a conventional soccer dome. I remember walking in, I was like, I hope we don't use this place. Like, no offense to it, but after seeing USA and then seeing this place, I was like, there's no way we can, put players in this facility.
Chicago was already set up. We went to Detroit to invite them to Chicago. And the first comment they said was, why don't you bring the games to us? And after that, we will forever come to your games.
So that's where the seed and the idea was born, as far as, look, after Chicago, let's do it in Detroit because this is where we're going to do it.
But in hindsight, I think we got a lot of traction because of Detroit, At the time, I don't even know, but I guess the biggest thing would be the indoor facility, right? That was the main attraction thing. The facility was amazing.
Well, we're very excited to welcome the Umoja Games to Michigan and to Ultimate Soccer Arenas. We are the largest indoor soccer facility in the world at 365,000 square feet. And we have 3 full-size FIFA regulation fields, along with 1 additional 3/4 size.
The setup of the field actually felt like Umoja built it. It was custom made. Everything was just right there. Women have their privacy. There's a bathroom there. Everything was just amazing.
We knew about the Detroit facility, Ultimate Soccer Arenas, for a number of years prior to 2018 games. And at the time, we really weren't at the capacity to move to Dearborn. But then after Chicago, the time came right that, let's take the games to Dearborn, let's engage the Shia community there.
Yeah. From the point of view of the women's field also, it wasn't a 5-minute walk or a 10-minute walk. It was, the women still felt they were part of the whole tournament. They didn't feel so isolated, even though they did have their privacy in their own field. They still felt like they were part of the facility, which I think was a big plus,
Being part of the organizing committee is truly an honor. It's so nice to work alongside such hardworking individuals and people who are so passionate about sports and bringing soccer into the community. And that's why I joined. I really believed in Umoja's vision, and I've played at Umoja, and I know how great the tournament is and how much that it brings to the community.
That year, Al-Ahad Islamic Center was able to send a full team, and that became evident pretty early in the cycle. So, we had to break the bad news to our friends in Michigan that they weren't needed as an augment, or whatever the word would be, to backfill that team. And they said, but we really had fun last year. Can we go? Okay, I don't know how to do this, but maybe we could sponsor a team? Can we do that? We got the jerseys, and then we got some, help just create the team. They got donations from people around Michigan, and they were able to get the group down there and hosted, and they even got me a jersey. It says Mr. Safi on the back.
We were against the free agent girls team, and I realized that they had no coach, and I guess the spirit of Umoja just kicked in, and I decided to walk the floor to help them out. I called my friend who came all the way from Dallas and asked her to interpret for me, as she knew how to speak Farsi. My girls were just so shocked and angry at me, and the moms and the ref were just laughing at the incident. But for the next 30 minutes, we all had the most enjoyable time of our life just playing soccer.
So in 2018, that was the first time we had to deal with a fight at Umoja Games. It was a fight that began between a few players on the field, which kind of overflowed into the spectators and involved a few family and friends of those players. But the bigger problem was that fight in itself ended up overflowing into the lobby area of the main arena. I remember looking at this mass of people. I stood up on a table with a megaphone, and literally my heart dropped into my stomach. My first thought was crowd control. We directed all the people who were spectators back into the lobby, and we directed all players to go back to their fields. It was an interesting turning point, not only for the Detroit Games in itself, but for Umoja Games overall. Specifically, we had to now, any steps that were taken now really set the tone for the rest of the game, since it was only day 2. And also any of the steps taken by the Board of Governors at this point regarding those involved in the fight, as well as rules and regulations regarding, spectators and players, would then set the tone for future games to come.
And then, we had to pivot a little bit and make some changes for safety to the games moving forward. So I remember one of the things was nobody can be on the fields anymore. Everybody needs to be on the bleachers. So those changes that happen in the middle of a tournament, is definitely hard to balance. And I think that weighs into the chaos that some people on the planning team see, but maybe not everybody outside. But there's a lot of that, regardless of an issue like that, just in the months that go into planning something of this scale, there's so much that needs to be worked out, like tiny details of, what people are getting in their welcome bags, to what check-in is going to be like, and what the game schedule is going to be like, and how do we balance all of this?
With each year that passed, we have been consistently seeing the level of play just dramatically improve across all ages. But we also saw that competition becoming more and more fierce, as more teams and more players come from all around the world. But in 2018, we saw the ugly side of competition, which is when a team fielded an ineligible player. And that caused us a lot of pain, because when another team complained about it and we looked into it, we found that was the case, and there was an ineligible player. And as a result, we took actions, and those are handled directly and privately with the team and the players concerned.
We take what happened and we turn it into a lesson, and we really implement changes. That's really what has driven how we've reached to where we have. And I think whenever we have these challenges, I think we were doing it, it's just like, okay, what was the positive that came out from it, and how did we change it going forward?
I knew in this tournament that we're going to go down, and I wanted to see what kind of character we had. So this time what we're going to do in the second half, we're going to go out and play. Each one of us are going to go out and play. We're going to win this match, boys. Do you see the chances we had? Literally open goals. Sorry. It's fine, it's fine, they're coming, boys. It doesn't matter, we missed them, they're coming. We created, yeah? Don't forget that. So if we took our chances...
Oh, it's amazing. It's so good for the kids and for the parents and the families, and the kids just gain so much confidence, and they meet people from all over North America, all over the world, and they stay in touch after that, and it's just organized so well.
Oh, this program is awesome. At the last minute, someone reached out to me, and I actually immediately looked up on the website and saw that it was a bunch of beautiful people coming together from all these different communities and cultures to actually support not just soccer, but the coming together of an app, of a group of people that volunteer, of a bunch of ideas of like-minded people to provide a vehicle for the ones that would get overlooked.
I'm so happy to be here, meeting all the Umoja people. The organizers have done a fantastic job, and this gives us an opportunity to come together and meet our colleagues from all over North America. Not just that, but from Europe as well, some from Africa too.
We're here with the 6 strikers who just beat Unity Center. We have a couple of the girls here to talk about their last game and how they beat the team. So,
2018 was like the year that I guess our team kind of formed, and we decided to be a little more serious. So we're getting training from Brother Azim, and he kind of like trained us through the way. And it was hard because he couldn't obviously see any of our games, but we would have our little sessions after each game and before each game to see what to do, how we did. And then he would really give us that motivation, and we would go in playing with that. And the best moment was when we won that game, because it was like, for so many years, we're all playing in different teams, and we've all been trying to like get to like winning and stuff. And this year, like, we had a solid team, and we knew we worked really hard for it. And when we won, I think that was just the happiest moment. And when we went out to go like tell Azim and all our parents, they were so happy, and it was just like that. It was a really nice moment, you know.
For the same cause, for the same light, you discover people, you meet people. Look, you'll hear this from everybody else. Yeah, I met this friend. Yeah, I met this. But who did you meet that you never knew of? Somebody new. That's the objective. That's what these things do. And that's what Umoja tends to do.
Some of my favorite moments from Umoja Games was in Detroit when my friends and I would get smoothies or go to the hotel and catch up and discuss the game.
The facility was wonderful, the aura, the ambiance, the finals. I mean, there was drum music there. We had 20 teams in the men's division alone. The men's division of finals went to a penalty shootout. But the quality of football had really evolved from where it was in 2012 or 14 or 16. I mean, we had a new caliber of football in Detroit with these teams.
Joyful moment. There's wins, there's loses. Boys are happy, boys are sad, but at the end, we're all coming in and as a winning. We all win because we are a community. We're coming together and we're meeting each other, and we're learning from each other.
Now, after many years being a veteran, it brings me joy to see that the growth of our community across many nations within Umoja Games has grown from hundreds to thousands of participants, especially giving our girls and women an equal platform to play the game we all love.
Every year I come watch my brothers play soccer, but this year I got a chance to play myself on a team. I made lots of new friends on my team and also other teams.
We were playing in all different fields and handling different tasks, and all of a sudden the WhatsApp group that we had just started lighting up and saying emergency meeting, we have to meet, this is an important decision to make. And this was right before the closing ceremony as well.
George, who's the owner of the Ultimate Soccer Arenas, comes up to me and says, Mustafa, here's an offer for next year. And I've already reserved the dates for you that you're coming back here. And at that time, I didn't know what to tell him because we had already figured out a host for 2019, but this basically threw a curveball. But everywhere we turned, everybody felt they wanted to come back.
This decision being one of the most critical ones that we had to power in with our pros and cons about it. We had to make that decision, and we had to make that decision quick and fast.
It was really a tough decision on whether to keep it in Detroit for 2019 or move it to the new city. But I remember, Mustafa's speech at the closing, and we acknowledged, first of all, that people already knew where the new city was. There was already rumors floating around through the weekend.
We were nervous, like sitting there. We're like, what is the reaction going to be? Every year we've never gone back to the same spot. And we're waiting, like, would the people really they've been saying it, but when we actually commit to it, are they going to really want that?
We already had a host lined up in 2019, so this was a big decision to make, and we had to wrestle it with the pros and cons. And finally we came out and said, you know what, we gotta do it here because the people have spoken.